Hey guys, I just decided to make another video for you. I just dropped my kids off at school, so I kind of look a mess, and I'm sorry. But I know we had a question just yesterday, I think, about pronunciation. And one thing that I found, when my daughter started listening to all this K-pop stuff, and I wasn't into it yet, it all sounded like nonsense to me. And I thought, how on earth could anyone ever learn this language? Ever. Because it's just so different from English. Entirely different. And the number one thing I found is the more you listen to the music, the more things you start to pick up. You start hearing the same things over again. You hear obso a lot, like su obso. It kind of means like I can't. It means like the opposite of to exist, like you don't have. That's obso. And like I went over, ita is like to have or to exist. And you hear those a lot in BTS lyrics. And things like miane, which means I'm sorry, or arumdawa, which means beautiful. You hear that a lot in Monsta X songs, especially their new CD. It seems like they say it almost every song. And himboke is happy. And I've just learned a lot of this from listening to the lyrics. And I found the more I listen to them, sometimes it's like your brain just starts to hear things, and all of a sudden you're listening to a song and you don't even know necessarily exactly what it's saying, but if you listen to it enough, you're singing along all of a sudden, and you don't even realize what you're saying or what you're singing along to. And that really helped me with knowing how to pronounce things. So sometimes even if I see something in Hangul and I'm like, that, I don't know how to pronounce that. Sometimes I think of the songs and how I think that would be pronounced because I've sang so many different lyrics that I necessarily don't understand every single word, but I know what sounds right because I've listened to it so much. And, another thing I'd say is you cannot learn the language just with songs, I don't think. At least not for me. I mean, you really do need to get a book or get online, get on YouTube. YouTube has so many awesome videos. Like I got the Korean from Zero books, and they also have YouTube videos that go along with them with each section. And you could, if you're really good, you could probably, if you're a really easy learner, you could probably just watch the YouTube videos and make notes and learn a whole lot of stuff just from doing that and being on YouTube. And they also, in their videos particularly, I like them because they have someone who is an English speaker saying it, and then they also have a native Korean who is giving you an example with a native tongue. So you can sort of hear the difference in how an American speaks it with an accent and how a native Korean says it, without any accent. So I thought that was really great because I'm like, oh, I totally sound like this guy. I need to try to sound like her more. So, I don't know. That was just some advice that I think would be helpful for everyone struggling to pronounce things, and just listen and start to hear those words you hear all the time. Start trying to pick out things you hear all the time, like pirohe, need, like niga pirohe, I need you. You hear that all the time. And once you pick those things out, those are going to be the ones that stick in your mind, because you know them in a song. Or hamke is together. And these are all things that I've picked up more from listening to the music than from doing any studying, even though the studying does help and helps you actually form sentences and, put words together, which is really hard. And just to let you know, I was reading on italki, which is another really great resource. It's an online website, and you can actually pay for lessons. You can get an actual teacher or just a native speaker. I know I paid for my daughter for some lessons, and it was $9 per hour. So I think, or maybe $7. And it was a guy who lived in Atlanta here. He was from Korea, and he just helped her learn Hangul and learn some vocab and stuff like that. So it can be really inexpensive if you just want to spend a little bit of money on it. I got like a package of 5 lessons for like $42. That's 5 hours of learning Korean for less than 50 bucks, which is pretty darn great. I mean, you're not going to really get that with an actual person. And, you know, there's a lot of journal entries and different things on italki that can be helpful in like questions and that people have answered on italki, just some resources. So, I mean, I guess that's all I had to say, and I've made this totally long. I had no idea I could talk for over 5 minutes. I've done real well today. But just keep at it. It is really hard, because italki said that Korean, it had levels, and like, you know, Spanish was kind of easy, Italian was kind of easy to learn, and it had like, I think 8 levels of difficulty. Like, these are easy languages, these are harder ones, these are harder ones. Do you know where Korean was? And it was like on the 8th level. So it's one of the hardest things to learn, to speak fluently, and it's going to take some time. And, you know, I don't know if you're not going to be able to immerse yourself in Korean culture and spend time in Korea. It's going to take a long time. But the only thing I can say is to immerse yourself in Korean culture as much as you can, even if you don't have anybody around who's Korean like me, because nobody lives near me that is Korean. I have some Asians around me. Most of them are Japanese or Chinese. There really aren't any Koreans. So there's nobody I can like befriend and, you know, have conversations with and talk about Korean. So just try to watch as many dramas as you can, and, you know, listen to music, of course, watch your lyric videos, stop them if you want, you know, pause them, write down some of the lyrics, try to look up each word on Google Translate so that you understand this word, this word, this word come together, because it's sometimes hard to understand when you do each word. It says one thing, you know, but then it translates to a sort of a different meaning, a little bit different. It's just that they put their sentences together in a different way than we do. And a lot of times they leave the subject out. So they don't say a lot of I, you, me, we, she, he. There's not a whole lot of that. It's just sort of implied by who they're speaking to. You know, they state the subject and then kind of don't bring it up again a lot. That's one thing that's really, really difficult coming from English, where we're constantly saying he did this and she did that and he likes her, and they don't really say a lot of that in Korean. So I guess I'll end my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it's super long. I can't believe I talked this long. See you later.